Our children probably know that we love them, but do they also know that we enjoy them? Not because they did something impressive or because they were cooperative, not because they made us proud with some sort of achievement, simply because they walked into the room and something inside of us lit up. What might that kind of delight in us awaken inside a child or even a teen or an adult child? And what if it's one of the most important and even healing gifts we could ever give them? Welcome to Self Led Parenting Live. I'm Jacqueline Long, a licensed marriage and family therapist, founder of Mindful Child and Family Therapy in California, certified parent educator in connection parenting, and a certified internal family systems therapist. And today, I'd love to wonder with you about something tender, something that means a lot to me. As parents, we already express love in so many beautiful ways. And I wonder if the experience of our delight might be another experience that our children quietly need from us too. Not just our love for them, but our delight in them. What if? What if the sparkle in our eyes, the warmth in our face, the feeling that arises in us when we see our kid and think, ah, there you are. I'm so glad to get to be with you. What if that helps them develop into the best version of themselves? We love our children deeply, and we express our love in lots of ways, often by working hard, making dinner, driving them to school, helping with homework, setting limits, worrying about their future, planning for their future, making appointments, keeping track of 1,000 different details, trying to prepare them for life. There are so many ways we try to communicate our love. And from a child's perspective, much of that love can sometimes feel like, remember your backpack. Did you finish your homework? Put your shoes on. Did you shower? Did you put on sunscreen? Be careful. Try harder. Make a better choice. All of this guidance comes from a very good and loving place inside of us. It's a part of parenting. But what if we could also share simple micro moments of our pure delight in them? So they experience the light in our eyes, so they can feel that we're not only responsible for them, not only concerned about them, not only trying to guide them, but that we genuinely enjoy them, that their presence brings something beautiful to our world. When I was growing up, I didn't get to see my grandparents very often, maybe once or twice a year, but I still remember arriving at their home, and I remember their faces. They would light up when they saw me and my sister. There was a warmth in the way they greeted us. They were simply so happy we were there. And all these years later, I still remember how that felt inside, arriving at the door and being delighted in for a micro movement. I didn't feel that way with all my relatives. This was really special and memorable. So just notice what happens inside of you as you hear this. Was there someone whose face lit up when they saw you when you were little? Someone who seemed genuinely glad to have you simply be there? If so, what did that feel like inside of you? And if you didn't have that experience, is there a part of you that wishes you had? That longs for that experience of being delighted in just for being you? Just notice what's there and perhaps offer a little warmth to whatever's arising inside of you right now. And when you're ready, you can just gently bring your attention from the inside back into the outside. Welcome back. Being delighted in matters. It brings out the best in us, whether we're 5 years old or 15 or 50. And it helps to remember that praise and delight are not quite the same thing. Praise often responds to what someone has done. I like your choice of clothes. I approve. You did such a good job. I'm so glad you finally showered. You got a great grade. You brought home a really good report card. Even, I'm very proud of how hard you worked. There's nothing wrong with offering praise like this, but it's just that delight communicates something different. Delight says, I light up when you walk into the room. Just seeing you brings me joy. It says, you don't have to accomplish anything right now. You don't have to make a good choice first. You don't have to prove anything to have a special place in my heart. Delight isn't about what a child has done or accomplished. It's about who they are, just as they are. No changes, updates, or even achievements needed. And perhaps when children, even adult children, experience that kind of delight from us, perhaps something inside of them begins to settle. Maybe they begin to discover, I don't have to earn love through performance. I'm not too much for my parents. My presence is welcome here. I bring something valuable into this family simply by being myself. And maybe even I can bring more of my deepest self forward here. Maybe it's safe to be fully me. Maybe it's okay to shine. So, parents, maybe, just maybe, our delight is the secret ingredient to helping our children reach their fullest potential in life. What if it's our delight that helps our kids feel safe enough to reveal more of the very best of who they already are deep inside? And it's true that many children carry a very heavy burden of fear of being seen as too much. Over the years, they've been given the message by teachers, friends, or siblings that they're too loud or too emotional or too energetic, too sensitive, too needy. And some children quietly begin to believe that belonging depends on being easier, calmer, more successful, more agreeable, less disruptive, less fully themselves. And that's one reason that our delight can be so healing for them. When our face softens as our child approaches, when our eyes brighten, when they feel that their presence is welcomed rather than merely managed, even just for a micro moment, they may receive a message that reaches beneath words. That doesn't mean that we don't set limits. I really believe that loving limits are extremely important. But, we don't have to enjoy every moment or every behavior. We can dislike a behavior and still allow our child to feel deeply enjoyed. We can say no thanks in one moment and still communicate, I'm really glad you're here in the next. Indeed, what if delight is especially healing after conflict, after an argument or a meltdown or a difficult morning? Children, young or adult children, may feel unsure. A part of them might ask inside, are we still okay? Did my big feelings damage our relationship? Am I still lovable even when I'm struggling? Sometimes children benefit from words of reassurance, and sometimes something even simpler can reach them in a deeper, more profound way. The warmth in our face when they return from their room, the softness in our voice, the way we make room beside us, the quiet message, there you are. Yes, We're still okay. I'm still so glad to see you. Perhaps our delight helps our children, including our adult children, find their way back from loneliness, isolation, shame, and insecurity, and into the warm embrace of our love, our joy, and our delight in them. The book Runaway Bunny reminds me of this. No matter how many times the baby bunny pushes the mother bunny away, the mother bunny continues to simply be there, right by the baby bunny's side, in a creative and elegant way, with a warm smile and a loving light in her eyes. What if that kind of presence is healing because it helps to combat the feelings of pain and shame and isolation that the baby bunny might otherwise have to carry alone inside, especially as the baby bunny gets older and becomes an adult in the real world outside. Of course, we can't feel delighted about our kid in every moment. That would be totally impossible. So I like to say, what's in the way is the way. So if something inside of you hears this video and says, well, I certainly haven't been enjoying my child very much lately, I hope we can take a moment to meet that part with compassion because that's normal. That's so natural. It's deeply human. It's something all of us parents feel at some point in our parenting journey, and usually at many points along the way. Tiredness can cover over our delight. Stress can cover it over. Fear can block it. The pressure to correct our child, the pressure to prepare them for the future, and to understand everything happening inside of them so we can fix it. All of these parenting parts are often trying really hard to help. They're trying to protect our child and help us be a good parent. It's just that sometimes when those parts of us are working so hard, our child can have difficulty feeling the warmth that's there underneath them. For instance, I have a very strong analytical part of me inside that really wants to understand my son. When he was growing up, I wanted to know what's happening? What is he feeling? What's he trying to communicate? What does this mean? This part of me loves him deeply. It wants to understand so it can help. But over the years, I've noticed this. Sometimes when I try too hard to understand him, he shuts down. My effort to understand can begin to feel like pressure, like another demand. And I've learned that sometimes, more important than me fully understanding what he's trying to express, I can invite this analytical part of me to simply relax into a witnessing mode. So I can relax my body and soften my face, my gaze, and through my eyes and my body and my presence, I can offer him my warm attention, my soft, warm attention. And in that micro moment, I can radiate warmth toward him without needing to understand it all fully. And when I relax, he often relaxes too. His body softens, his good thinking becomes more available to him. His words seem to flow a little easier. His clarity begins to kind of emerge from inside him. He might not explain everything in the way that the analytical part of me would hope, but I've realized that maybe our children don't always need us to extract the answer or understand it all 100%. Perhaps sometimes they simply need to feel the warmth of our presence and see the delight in our eyes so their own answers have enough safety to emerge from within on their own, in their own time. And maybe that's more important than me understanding it all 100% right now and knowing for sure that he'll be okay. So now I'd really like to invite you to bring your awareness inside and just see if it feels comfortable. It's okay if it doesn't. And just take a moment to imagine your child walking into the room. And before you ask a question, before you correct anything, before you remind them what they need to do, just notice these impulses or these parts of you inside. And just invite them gently to move into a witnessing role. So you and your natural curiosity can come forward. Your awe and delight in your child can emerge organically on its own. Notice what happens in your face, what happens in your body. Just see if maybe there's a little warmth available, a softness, a quiet sense of, there you are. Notice that you don't have to force anything. It's about noticing whether there's a small opening beneath the tiredness, beneath the part of you that holds the worry, beneath the mental to-do list, where your natural enjoyment of your child can emerge like sunlight from behind the clouds. Perhaps your face can communicate what your heart has been feeling all along. Notice what that's like to simply delight in your child. And when you're ready, gently bring your attention from the inside back into the outside. Yeah. So here are 3 invitations you might experiment with this week. First, simply notice your child once this week without evaluating them. Just notice them without deciding whether they're doing something right or wrong to your liking or not. Second, let your face communicate what your heart has been feeling all along, and allow a little of your delight to become visible. And third, find one moment to enjoy your child, even if they're a young adult child, without teaching, correcting, or guiding, or even photographing. Simply be there and allow yourself to be in awe of who your child is in the moment that's unfolding, just as it is. What if you could just be there and enjoy the moment with your kid? What would that be like for you? What could that bring to your kid? So here are some key takeaways for you today. Children don't only need to know that we love them, they also need opportunities to experience our delight in them. Praise often communicates, I appreciate what you did. Delight communicates, I'm glad you're here. Our delight can help soften shame. It can be a balm for isolation and loneliness. It can help children counteract the belief that they're too much. It can offer relief from performance pressure. It can help restore connection after conflict. And it can help children feel confident enough to become more fully themselves and even safe enough to truly shine. So before we close today, I'd love to share a letter written from the perspective of a parent's capital S self to their child. Dear my child, sometimes my love for you gets covered up by my tiredness, by my worry, my reminders, my questions, my attempts to understand you, my desire to prepare you for your future. Sometimes the parts of me that love you most deeply are also the parts that correct you, guide you, rush you, or worry about you. And I wonder if there are many times when you can't feel the love underneath the activity of all of these different parts of me. So I want you to know something. There's a deep place inside of me that lights up simply because you are here. Not because you achieved something, not because you were helpful, not because you were calm or acting the way I'd like you to, simply because you are you. There's something in your face, your energy, your way of being in the world that brings something beautiful into my life. Sometimes I don't show it very well. Sometimes I might be too tired to communicate it clearly. Sometimes worry covers the sparkle in my eyes. But underneath all of that, there's delight, there's warmth, there's the quiet astonishment that I get to know you, that I get to witness your life, that I get to be your parent. I really want you to know that you don't have to prove anything to have a special place in my heart. Your presence alone brings something so beautiful into my world. And when I soften enough to let you feel that, I see you light up too. I see your confidence, your playfulness, your ideas, your true self coming forward into the light of being. So I'm going to keep inviting these very busy parts of me to soften back so my deepest self can come forward. I'm going to keep looking for the moments when I can set down my worry, invite my questions to soften back, and set down my attempts to change anything about you, and simply allow myself to enjoy you, because I do. I enjoy you so much, and I'm so very glad you're here, a precious part of my world. It's a joy to get to know you. Love, your mom. Let's take a moment to let that letter land. So, parents, perhaps there's a child in your life who you can simply enjoy. When you see them today, maybe just for a micro moment, let your face soften, let your eyes brighten, let them sense you taking them in with a look that says, "Ah, there you are." When children can feel that, even adult children, it lights them up. It helps them feel more confident, more courageous, more connected to their true nature, more open to their vast potential. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing some of the most important work in the world. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific.